Hello and welcome to a review of the new Iron Man film, Iron Man 3. Alright, so Iron Man 3, a movie that I have anticipated since, well, since ever I saw the first trailer, which was last year. So before I start the review, I just want to say, um, there will be no spoilers. There are some things I'm going to talk about the movie, but that is things that you've seen in trailers. If you have not seen the trailers, then you might want to turn off this video, but they're really mild spoilers, and if you've seen the trailer, it's not really a spoiler at all. And before I start to talk about Iron Man 3, I want to go a little bit back to Iron Man 1. Iron Man 1 was a great superhero film. Not the kind of superhero film that I like to watch over and over again, and that's much because it's an origin story, and often when it's an origin movie, you remember the movie really in details, to be honest, and it gets more and more uninteresting for each time you see it. But if you look away from that and just look at Iron Man, the first film, it is a great superhero film. Well, it was a great beginning for like the Marvel Phase 1. So yeah, Iron Man was a great film. Iron Man 2 came out in 2010, and it wasn't really received that well. A lot of people did not like it, and well, I have to say that I enjoyed it, but I was a little bit disappointed. I liked the villain Whiplash. He was okay, but I thought the guy who stole the show was Justin Hammer. He was awesome, and I was just thinking when I saw Iron Man 2 that okay, they're kind of like, uh, picking up these like memorable villains from the Iron Man comics, like Justin Hammer, and maybe in the next movie we'll get Mandarin. And, it was just starting to pick up, and what I like about Iron Man 2 was that it continued the journey of Tony Stark, and I really like that. So, let's get to Iron Man 3. Iron Man 3 is, well, what can I say? It's a mixed bag. Once again, Robert Downey Jr. does a great performance as Tony Stark, and he's actually, I would say this is his best performance as Tony Stark. He does a really good job. He's really funny and, sarcastic, and, everybody knows Tony Stark. After the Avengers, everybody knows him, so I don't really need to talk much about him. But yeah, Robert Downey Jr. did a great job as always. The action scenes were good, but there was two that was really good, and that was what you might remember from the trailer is where these helicopters, arrive at Tony Stark's house, and they just blasted down with rockets and stuff, and the building goes down into the sea, and even with Iron Man 2, it was an awesome scene to look at, in the theaters, and yeah, that was really cool. And the other scene was also when Iron Man rescued, these people at Air Force One when, they just fly into the air, and, Iron Man had to pick them up one after one. That was really cool, and I don't think it will be as cool on Blu-ray, on, a normal TV screen at home. I think that's something you have to watch at the theater. So yeah. But that was the things I liked, and yeah, it's not much. The things I didn't like, well, there was a lot of comedy. If you look at the Avengers, it has it had a great balance between comedy and drama and action. It was a perfect balance. Joss Whedon knew exactly what he did. Here, it feels like Shane Black. He's kind of just, I don't know what it did, but it just felt like yeah, I don't know what to say, but it was just a lot of comedy. And some things just happened over and over and over again, and it got to a point where I was just tired. It wasn't funny anymore. Um, and even at some very dramatic scenes and suspenseful scenes, some comedy stuff happens and just pops up just randomly, and it's not really funny. You know, if you're gonna have some comedy, you gotta have it flow. You know, make it flow just as well as the drama and the action, something that the Avengers did. And Iron Man 3 was just really an unbalanced film, because I was actually wondering if I was watching a comedy instead of a superhero film. Um, it was just a really unbalancing film, you could say. I was just kind of scratching my head and wondering, what the hell am I watching? And the music was really flat. It wasn't really exciting, and it didn't really, take me into the movie. And I really just felt like, wow, this is suspenseful, or wow, this is dramatic. I just thought the music was really flat and boring. Um, and the thing that just really ruined for me in the movie, it was in the middle. I don't want to spoil it, but there was a part in the middle that ruined everything, and the movie just didn't pick up after that. For comic book fans, they will understand. For non-comic book fans, they won't care. They won't understand it. But I was just shocked, disappointed, and just sad. And I just, it just made me bored. Actually, I didn't like the film after that. Uh, the ending wasn't suspenseful, and I actually sat waiting for the movie to end. I actually looked at the watch to see if the movie was soon going to end, because I was bored. I was really bored. It wasn't really interesting. It's sad to say this, because I really looked forward to Iron Man 3, and I was very disappointed. For me, it's the worst in the trilogy, and definitely not a good start for Marvel's Phase 2. Um, I know some of you is going to disagree, and some of you are going to agree. For comic book fans, they will hate this film. Well, maybe not hate it, but definitely disappointed. So yeah. So Iron Man 3, it wasn't good. I didn't like it, and very disappointed. So I still have hopes for, Thor, Dark World, and Captain America: The Winter Soldier. So we'll see how those films do it. So yeah, have you seen Iron Man 3? What did you think of it? Please comment below and let me know, and let's start a discussion about um, the things that happened in Iron Man 3 that, was a bit shocking. That would be really cool to see what you think of it. Alright, so thanks for watching, and have a great day.